Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As always, shout out to the notification squad, and today I saw a post on /r/globaloffensive talking about the competitive future of CSGO, and this was actually the most upvoted thing on the subreddit, which really surprised me. So in the post it says, yesterday it was confirmed that Dota 2 will have 11 majors and 11 minors between October 2017 and June 2018, and pretty much all of these tournaments are supported by Valve, who will contribute to the prize pool in them all, with the culmination being the International 8 in August of 2018. So what this post is trying to say pretty much is that Valve is supporting Dota 2 a lot, supporting it financially, and also just putting a lot of these majors out here to hopefully get the scene a little bit bigger, and that CSGO doesn't really get the same support, which is just really unfortunate. And he goes in later on the post to talk about more about how I believe CSGO could get bigger and could reach the heights that Valve wants it to if they just started pumping more money into it and actually, made more majors and made more, actual big events for CSGO. The first thing I'm going to say about this is I think people need to stop comparing Dota 2 and CSGO. They are two entirely different games. I know they're both made and published by Valve, but hey, they are two completely different games with two completely different fan bases and two completely different fan base sizes. So therefore, they're going to be treated just a bit differently. And yes, it seems like in this case, Valve is neglecting CSGO and just putting Dota 2 on this huge pedestal, but Dota 2 has so many more players than CSGO right now, and this isn't a matter of future endeavors, and I believe what he's saying is true, that CSGO can reach the heights that Valve allows it to, because I've made videos talking about this before, and I'm going to try to sum it up quickly, but I believe CSGO could become one of the biggest, if not the biggest esport, just because it's so accessible and you can get regular everyday people into it, while with something like Dota 2 it might be harder to get a non-gamer into watching it. But that's just my opinion. But I don't agree with this guy in terms that Valve really needs to do anymore. I think we have enough majors right now. We have enough big tournaments right now. If anything, we realistically have too many, and we have too many online tournaments, which can really be a problem. And someone said we need to look at all the ESL tournaments such as Cologne, New York, Sydney, Oakland, Katowice, however you say that, but the occasional E-League and DreamHack tournaments. It seems like right now we have enough tournaments in the CSGO scene. The reason we don't have as many as Dota 2 though is just simply because the game isn't as big and there isn't as much money to be made there. No, I don't think it's Valve neglecting CSGO, because they're a company and companies want money, and why would you neglect a game that makes you a fuck ton of money? It makes absolutely no sense. And I think our tinfoil hats maybe are a bit on too tight, because a lot of people seem to think Valve just hates CSGO for some reason, which I just don't think is the case. Also, getting back to my point of these being two completely different games, they're in two completely different genres, which means they have two completely different rival, audiences. So a lot of people, when they see CSGO doesn't really have a direct competitor. The closest thing I guess you could say to being a direct competitor is Overwatch, and if you know anything about both of those games, you know that they are not really all too similar, other than both being FPS games and both being competitive in nature. But realistically, they're not really that similar. With Dota 2, they have other MOBAs that are directly competing with it, such as League of Legends, and I guess you could say Smite is another competitor to some extent. But when you have competitors like that, you have to do things like this. You have to put everything to the next level. You have to put all this money into the game, and that just could be another reason why Valve puts so much money into Dota 2. It just makes sense because they're making more money off the game, and they have to keep putting more money in this game to compete with other games like, League of Legends, which is the biggest game in the world right now. So I can see why they do it. It kind of makes sense, and I understand. I don't think the competitive future of CSGO is fucked because they're putting money into Dota 2, and I think to say that is a little bit ridiculous. I think Dota 2 is just its own game, and I feel like we need to stop comparing CSGO and Dota 2. CSGO, in the current situation it's in the esports scene right now, is perfectly fine. I hope it gets better, and I hope we see progress in the CSGO community, but to say and to think that it's worried and we should be worried is just a little ridiculous. And I think everyone has their tinfoil hats on a bit too hard, and I think everyone's trying to blow this maybe a bit too far out of proportion. But let me know what you guys think of it down in the comments down below. What do you think of the competitive future of CSGO? Let me know down in the comments down below, and if you like this video, hit the like button, and if you dislike the video for some odd reason, hit the dislike button, and if you're new, how about you subscribe? But yeah guys, this has been the Chosen One Inc., and as always, peace out.